Trump mocks Mike Pence behind his back, saying, "Did he make you pray?" Inside the West Wing, odd couple who were put together by Melania because her husband needed a clean VP. Donald Trump mocks Mike Pence's piety behind his back while the vice president thinks his boss reminds him of his abusive father, a new book reveals. The book lifts the lid on the relationship between Trump and Pence and reveals the president asks visitors to the West Wing, "Did Mike make you pray?" Pence thinks that Trump is like his father Edward Pence Jr., a decorated Korean War veteran who used to beat his sons with a belt to discipline them. First in line, presidents, vice presidents and the pursuit of power also reveals that Melania Trump had a bigger role in choosing Pence than realized, and demanded her husband choose somebody clean. New York Times best-selling author Kate Anderson interviewed more than 200 people for the book and talked to all 6 living former vice presidents. First in Line, which is out Tuesday on HarperCollins, reveals the complex dynamic between vice presidents and presidents going back decades, but the chapter on Pence is arguably the most illuminating. The former governor of Indiana was the surprise choice by Trump to be his vice president in 2016, but since then his deep faith and his appeal to evangelicals has been a boon to the president. One longtime friend of Pence's said that Pence considered the vice presidency a divine appointment, meaning that Trump is one step removed from God. Pence has avoided the criticism that has come the way of much of the Trump cabinet by being subservient to him and never hogging the spotlight. According to First in Line, Pence is known as On Message Mike because he parrots what the president says so much, but the respect only flows one way. Trump never misses a chance to have a dig at anyone and Pence is no exception, the book says. As well as mocking Pence's faith, Trump once sarcastically suggested he was his servant during a meeting in the Situation Room. A Pence aide said, "The president made a comment, I know Mike wouldn't say it this way. And he said it the way Donald Trump says things. And then he said, but Mike, how would you say it?" Pence rephrased the same statement in a more politically correct way and Trump turned to the larger group and said, "See, that's what I love about him." Trump's former strategist Steve Bannon said that this was Trump's way of making Pence know his boss. Such is the level of mockery by the president that one of Pence's friends said she would not be surprised if Trump had nicknamed Pence the Deacon. The claims in the book are not the only time that Trump has ridiculed Pence and once reportedly joked that he wanted to hang all gay people. The president is said to have made the joke in October to a legal scholar during a White House discussion on gay rights. Pence, 56, was one of 6 children and his older brother Greg said that in conversations between them he said that the president reminded them of his father. Greg said, "When we were first talking about whether he should be Trump's running mate, he said Trump reminded him of our dad's personality. That surprised me. After a while Greg got what his brother meant because you always knew where you stood with my dad, he was very direct. He just said what he thought, period." Pence's father grew up in Chicago and was the son of a stockyard worker before serving as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. He was deployed during the Korean War and in 1953 won the Bronze Star for his service. Pence's father was really upset about his son's decision to go into politics, his mother Nancy has said. In one interview she said that he was dead set against it, and he really grilled Mike about why he would want to do such a thing. Pence talked him round and in the end he campaigned strongly for his son, helping him become a representative for Indiana's 2nd District and eventually governor of the state. According to First in Line, it was Melania Trump who played a key role in choosing Pence and said she did not want former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie because he had too much baggage. At the meeting at the Trump Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, in the summer of 2016, Melania also rejected former House Speaker Newt Gingrich because he was not clean, as she put it. That left Pence, who seemed like the perfect candidate. The book says that in the White House Pence believes in what he calls servant leadership, and tells his staff to follow 3 key principles: humility, self-control, and orientation to authority. Pence's former vice presidential chief of staff Josh Pidcock said, "His job is defined by one person, and the most important thing is to protect that relationship." But there are many quirks about Pence, such as how his weekly meetings with Trump are chaperoned by Chief of Staff John Kelly and the Vice Presidential Chief of Staff, Nick Ayers. Trump and Pence supposedly need the conversation to be steered by Kelly and Ayers so that it does not get off track, the book says. First in Line says that Pence and his wife Karen sealed the deal with Trump by visiting him at his golf club in Bedminster and, knowing that Trump liked to be flattered, Pence told the press that the future president had beat me like a drum on the links. Privately, the Pences told the Trumps, "We've been praying for this meeting. We've been praying for you." The Trumps were supposedly taken aback and said, "What do you mean praying for us?" The Pences told them they were praying for wisdom, for clarity of thought, to which Trump nor Melania knew how to respond. The Trumps were left feeling fascinated and intrigued by the Pences, and that drew them closer together as couples. The book also reveals that Pence is so devoted to Karen that he has an antique-red phone on his desk to which only she has the number. Whenever it rings, Pence stands to attention and, according to one friend of Pence's, when the phone rings, everything stops. First in Line, Presidents, Vice Presidents, and The Pursuit of Power by Kate Anderson Brower is available on Amazon.